nobody's ready for war.
No, and you always want more than you've got at any time, even when you're winning.
But like, really not ready. Even like you mentioned with Barbarossa, Nazi Germany is really not ready.
Not ready.
Nobody's really except France. I swear,
Only France had radios.
Fine, but come on. When Nazi Germany invades Poland, I mean,
yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible. Because I also do think that had France gone in some force with some British troops as well, had they gone in, what would have happened is that would have that easily could have brought down Hitler, because most of his senior commanders are just thinking, what the hell is going on? This is a catastrophe. I mean, to a man. I mean, even Goering is thinking this is a terrible idea. They are absolutely not convinced. And when Hitler does his big talk to he asks all his senior commanders to come to the Berghof to brief them about the invasion of Poland. It's just after the Ribbentrop-Molotov pact of the 22nd of August. He calls them all to the Berghof and says, come in mufti, come in civilian suits. They all turn up and he gives them this kind of huge, great speech. And says, this is the moment. This is the time. This is what we're going to do. And they're all going, what? You're kidding me. What, we're going to Poland on the 26th of August? That's the plan? Like 2 days' time? Where's the plan? The whole point is that, they're emerging and growing militarily, but they were supposed to have all these exercises where they, coordinating ground forces, the Panzer spearhead with operations in the air with the Luftwaffe. None of that happens. So Poland becomes the proving ground. And actually, they discover that there's lots of things that don't work and lots of things that are wrong. But it's flying in the face of all military convention that they he does this without any kind of warning. And even by the 1st of September, where there's been this kind of sort of 5-day delay at the last minute negotiations. The last minute negotiations are thrust upon Hitler by people like Goering and by Mussolini and the Italians going, oh my God, don't do this. There's got to be a solution. Hitler's absolutely jumping at the bit.
Well, in that case, from a dark militaristic perspective, his bet paid off.
Well, except that it ended in ruins in May 1945 with total collapse of Germany. So you could say the worst decision he ever made was going into Poland in September 1939. Depends which way you look at it. But I mean, yes, it's successful in that, Poland's overrun in 18 days.
And there's so many counterfactuals here.
But I mean, if you would say to Hitler on the 30th of April, as he's sort of taking out the pistol from his holster on his sofa in the Führerbunker and going, so Adolf, 1st of September 1939, still backing yourself on that one? I mean, he might have a different view.
The guy's insane and full of blunder, so he probably would have said, yeah, do it all over again.
Yeah, I'm sure he would have done it as well.
The conquest. Poland was not a mistake. Soviet Union was not a mistake.
No.
It's just some of the
other people I was let down by people not being strong enough.
Yeah, the Prussian generals are all...
Yeah, of course. That's exactly what he'd say. It wasn't my fault.
He might have quietly done some different decisions about Barbarossa. Maybe the timing would be different.
Maybe that all-out central thrust rather than kind of splitting it into three. Yeah.
But he was very sure, it seems like, maybe you can correct me, that Britain and France would still carry on with appeasement even after he invaded Poland.
Absolutely. He was completely convinced by it. There was clearly a kind of sort of 10 to 15% level of doubt, but what the heck, I'm going to do it anyway. He ratcheted himself up into such a lather of kind of, this is the moment. I have to do it now. This is fate. I'm 50 and I could be taken out by an assassin's bullet. I've got this important life work that I've got to do. We've got to get on with it now. There could be no more delay. This is my mission. This is our mission of the German people. And either the German people have got the will and the spirit to be able to pull it off, or, I was wrong and therefore, we don't deserve to be 1,000-year right. We don't deserve to be the master race. Black or white. Us or them, either or. It's the same all the time.